If there's one thing we've learned about business and life, it's that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Syya, and welcome to the Gnaw on This Business Bites podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of Gnaw on This Business Bites. I'm Ben and this is Syya. And here's a question for you. How do you create and maintain your tribe? Whether this be a personal group of friends, whether this be a business relationship, whether this be, whatever, you have to sit there and say, okay, how do we create and maintain? Because it's one thing to sit there and say, okay, we're going to get a bunch of people together and okay, we're going to go and do this. The next question is, how do you maintain that relationship? How do you maintain the purpose? How do you make sure that everybody is aligned? How do you make sure everybody is passionate about doing it? Because truthfully, the people that aren't passionate, the people that don't belong, are not part of your tribe. They may be hangers on. There's a lot of people that are going to sit there and say, oh, I like that. But those aren't the people that are driving the change. The people that are driving the change are the people that believe in your purpose, the people who believe in your vision, that have shared goals. And these are the people that you want on the bus because they're the ones that are going to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. So Syya, let's nod this.
You know what's really funny about this? Because I'm a huge advocate for community building. I mean, I literally launched a second business all about community. Shout out to the crew at Epic, Adaptive Equipment Product Innovator Community. Just saying, just throwing it out there.
Okay.
Just throwing it out
Shameless
there.
plugs. Shameless plugs are allowed.
You go AE Corner
Absolutely.
Community. Okay, anyway, no. So here's where the thing about tribes is at its core root of it all is belonging,
Yes.
right? And it's belonging in a way that you found some kind of connection, value system, some kind of attachment where you found like, gosh, I was just thinking my little chemistry, you found this little bond. It's like, boop, we're right there, right? Now that bond, covalent bond could be break because it's a bilateral, it's two-way, right? And it could break if you disagree on things, but at its core root, you're still connected because you have shared value systems, shared something, right?
That's right.
At the same time of that, I think when we're talking under the context of, I mean, I guess you could talk about personal as well, it's a choice. You can choose
Yes,
to be part of this
absolutely.
tribe or you could choose to be part of another tribe. And what is that? What does it take? What does it mean? I think truly it's familial at its root.
Yes.
And it's just as dysfunctional at its root, like a
Well,
family.
I
So
mean,
that's my take on tribes. I'm not such a fan of the term tribe because I feel like we've become a tribalistic society, meaning as
yes.
you and I know this, we've talked about it, and though I will, consistently say I don't ever want to talk about politics or religion, but there is a sense of tribalism that could be very powerful and empowering and welcoming, and that can also seem being very toxic.
Well, there's us versus them. The tribes, if pitted against each other, it says you're either in or you're out. Because I believe a tribe, and shout out to my friend Paul Howery that just speaks on this all the time.
Yes.
But Paul's awesome with this. But when you think about tribes, it's not just they belong to me, but we belong to them. And there's that symbiotic relationship, and we all agree. And tribes are not forever. People come into your life for a reason, and people leave your life for a reason. I mean, it's a perfect example. I was at a dinner a few weeks back, and some friends of ours have a wide swath of friends. There was probably 40 or 50 people that showed up at this thing. And it was potluck and it was all just people getting together. But in this group, there are people that I would never have a conversation with otherwise, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. We have different wants, different needs, different beliefs, different, different social circles, but we are all within the nexus of the hosts.
Hmm.
And so it's really interesting to sit there and say, within this party, there really was three or four distinct tribes that all came together for this, for this potluck type dinner. And people got together, but you could absolutely see if you walked around the people you talked to and the people you didn't talk to, and the people that gravitated to other people and the people gravitated to you. And some people crossed over and some people never will. And it's quite interesting, well, looking at that from a dynamic point of view and taking a look at that from a psychological point of view, to sit there and say, okay, why do certain people gravitate? What are the commonalities? What are the intrinsic belief structures that these people have that bond these people together and leave certain people out of the conversation? And that's, and whether that be business, whether that be personal, whether that be whether they, I think that it's really an interesting thing, because if we look at it, Simon Sinek just did a piece, and I'll see if I can find it, on friendship. And it was like, this is, we have coaches for leadership, we have coaches for athletes, we have coaches for the other thing, we have all sorts of industries that have been built up about how to become a better leader, how to become a better this or that, the other thing. But there's nothing out there that sits there that says how to become a better friend.
Ooh,
And I
ooh.
think that that was a really interesting point, that within this thing, are our tribes built through altruism, or are they built because it is it is beneficial, like we find a beneficial thing for us, or is it opportunistic? I think is the word that I was looking for, is opportunistic. So is it are tribes built on an altruistic point of view, or an optimistic, or the opportunistic point of
Opportunistic.
view? There we go. There's the
Yeah.
term that's trying to get out of my mouth.
I think in the context, if you are being opportunistic, it's in the, I'd like to optimistically think of it as you're doing it so you can be better as a person, that as in you're leveling up, right? So when I say opportunistic, I'm not trying to say use people. I'm saying, does this person exhibit virtues of which you would like to attain yourself? Does this person exhibit, habits that you'd like to pick up that can make you a better person? you, I think that's where I think it's opportunistic, because let's be honest, like with all value exchange, there's
Hmm.
going to be something where it's a give and take in some capacity. So for me, like maybe at my old age, Ben, I feel like my
You're
core
not even
friends,
middle aged yet. Give me a break.
yeah, we are middle aged, sunshine. We're in the
No,
same
no, no.
decade.
I'm denying it wholeheartedly. I figured middle age just keeps creeping up. When I hit my 50s, middle age got into their 70s. So I'm in denial.
Yeah, okay, I'm not even gonna discuss that merits with you, but I will say this: at even at our not yet middle aged years,
There we go.
we are still having and seeking the same things, and of fulfillment, of friendship fulfillment, of sense of belonging, as we ever did when the first day we stepped into kindergarten. You know?
Absolutely. But the question is, how do we foster this? How do we foster, if we truly want a place to belong, if we truly want to belong with people, how do we go about it? Because you take a look at social media and you say, okay, I have X number of followers and I have X number of connections. You know, they're in, I think I have 10,000 connections and I think I have 11 or 12,000 followers. Okay, so there's obviously a lot of overlap there, because a follower is still a connection and a connection is not a follower, but whatever. Um, but do these people really belong to me, and do I really belong to them? If you asked me, Ben, it says I was looking on your LinkedIn profile the other day, and X was a connection to yours. Could you make an introduction? I don't even remember when I last contacted this person,
Some of
or
them.
if this person ever contacted me. People just hit the follow key, or people just hit the connect key, and then they walk away. That's
Yeah,
not belonging. That's not tribe building. That's,
no, that's just
I don't know
playing
even know
algos.
what to call it. It's just it's playing the algorithm.
Yeah, it's
So
playing social media game.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
no,
how do we build those tribes? Because those tribes are important, whether they're 10 people or 100 people or more, those tribes are important.
I think it's a two prong approach. At least let me just try to simplify it. And of course, you guys 15 minutes, we can only oversimplify so much, right? But
Exactly.
I'm gonna argue 2 points. One of which is finding an existing tribe of which you
Hmm.
see a lot of commonality. Like for me, anytime I see anyone that's into 80s and 90s alternative music, whatever, I'm like, hey, we're already friends because we're already at a concert, for example, right? Like that's my music tribe. Um,
Yes.
but I also believe, you know what? You have to build your own tribe. And this reminds me of
Yes.
my favorite Mama Cass song, make your own kind of music,
Hmm.
sing your own special song is find your tribe, meaning find the individuals that you can pull and compile. I would like to say and argue on this, Ben, is that I have a diverse set of, I wouldn't say tight. My core friends is my core friends. That's like
Right.
family and
Hmm.
core friendships that I choose, right, to be close. And even then, really it's just and I don't mind making people go but my boyfriend is my best friend and that's what it is. It is what it is.
Nice.
So, but I mean, my partner, I don't know
Your
what to call
partner.
us. My partner, my lover. Anyway,
There you go.
that's a Saturday Night Live joke for those that aren't aware, but having a diverse tribe as well, the one that you make of your own. Because I think it's not to say you can only belong one tribe, by the way, guys. I think Ben and I
No.
both are in agreement. You could be part of a billion tribes, but find one that super resonates that is maybe like just like the rings, the circle of tribes is friendships, right? You got your own
Yeah.
circle of tribes. I think if you can look at your own tribe that you've put together and you can see a lot of diverse people. So that dinner party you went to, you said there was distinctive 4 different tribes. Like I would say whoever hosted that, uh, I would be intrigued to get to know because they are pulling 4 different people, groups who have
Exactly.
maybe nothing in common except for the host is the common ground.
Yeah.
And if you all respect the host, that's your common ground that you can
Right.
potentially create a bigger and broader tribe, a community. Okay, let's interpolate the words. And I think that's how you do it, Ben. I think you have to be open to creating your own tribe and finding people that you think would better your circle of engagement. And even if it's differing opinions, the kind of group you pull together, like for me, I have a lot of diverse, like I said, friends, perspectives.
Hmm.
I mean, if you really want to go there, I got a lot of like different political spectrum friends. But here's the
Absolutely.
deal, it's always under the premise of you want to be my friend, then you always respect one another,
Hmm.
as in respect that everyone has an opinion. You could judge them all you want and be like, what a jackass, whatever. But at the same time, never disrespect them to their face. I mean, keep your inner thoughts to yourself, right? If you think
Well,
someone's like,
it's
lame,
having
but
conversation about ideas, not personal attacks.
correct. That's it. That's
And
exactly it.
I mean, the
Exactly.
question is, do you have a tribe? And as you said, most of us have multiple tribes that we belong to. Is it tribe based on beliefs and core values, or is it based on passions? And I mean, you have one based on music. I mean, you sit there and say, okay, this is my tribe because we all identify with the same type of music. Cool. You may have absolutely nothing else in common, but you have built a tribe based on your love for a certain type of music.
Hmm.
Or it could be, people that go to the ballet, or people that go to the opera, or people that go to certain comedy shows, or people that, that like sidewalk art or whatever.
Yeah.
And you sit there and say, okay, this is a tribe based on, you know, common interests. People that go to ski clubs or golf, golf tournament. People constantly go to golf tournaments, or people go to trade shows. They go there because they're looking to find people that have common ideas to, to what they have based on a similar set of interests. There's also the tribe based on core values. And I would say that those tribes tend to last a lot longer and be a lot deeper in terms of their meaning and their relationships than one based on an individual passion.
I would counter that because if you're passionate about
Fair enough.
something, it's probably connected to your core values. So, yes, it may not be again, it's like the inner circles
Yeah.
because I've got lifelong concert friends I randomly met at a concert,
Very
right? We
cool.
may never see each other again or whatever, but we always talk to each other around that rallying point. And I think that's what the
Hmm.
beauty of online relationships can be, what LinkedIn
Yeah.
can be, what social media could be, but let's not talk about that in the broader context because I think that's a different conversation. But I think the thing about building tribes and communities is ultimately there's healthy ones and not so healthy ones, and
Yes.
finding ones where it's how do you keep it and how do you keep growing it. I mean, in essence, it's really ultimately as long as you are you, that's your core values of whatever it is that you're attaching to, and you're true to your core values. Then that's going to be something that's sustainable to continue the growth of it. Yes, you might have members come and go, but that's freaking life, right? So,
Absolutely.
so yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I think maybe we should probably part two this one because I think the whole idea and concept of tribe is also if you think about this is we were just talking about almost like the definition of tribe. I think was what this felt like,
Absolutely.
and how to arrive at that definition. I imagine maybe a future conversation, which is like, you know, why do we have that tribe and to what end and what purpose? Maybe
Yes.
we can talk about that because I do believe there are certain communities that is, purpose driven, and
Hmm.
that could be a, religious tribe if you want to call it that, right? For the purpose of
Yes.
extending the language of, your respective religion. I could see it being political, right? Obviously, we know that. It could be, maybe it's rallying around your company. Hey, I'll say it's cybersecurity month in October. And we have all those like monthly celebrations of different holidays and whatnot. Maybe that's the tribe where everyone starts rallying because it happens to be that month.
Well, let's
So
let's let's hold off on this. Let's figure that out. But I think that's a great place to stop this. So, you know what? Let's stop it there. Tribes are important. Find your own tribe, find your own passion, find your own beliefs, and know that you can have different tribes. And guess what? You're going to go in and out of tribes as your beliefs and your goals and everything changes. And that's okay too. So I'm Ben,
I'm Sia.
and we'll see you soon.
Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Not on This Business Bites. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. If you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at IamBenBaker.com or me at BrilliantBeanMedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. See you next week for another episode of Not on This Business Bites.